Hi, it's Anna at Yarn Folk. I'm here to recap our weekly blog post and email. And the top of the above the folds today, we have the continuing semi-annual clearance sale, and we're at the point in the sale where most things are marked down to 50% off. So I wanted to take a second to give you an idea of some of the things that you might do with some of the yarns that are remaining. So just a few pattern ideas here. Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock Tweed is one of the yarns remaining in the clearance sale. Originally it was $20 a skein. It is now $9.99. There are a number of one skein hat patterns. The Portland hat is a free pattern. The one day hat is a free pattern. Both of those take one skein. And again, the pattern links for everything that I'm going to talk about today will be on the product pages for the yarn. There is also a 2 skein pattern for a teddy bear out of this yarn called Bibbo Bear. And there is a free scarf pattern. It's a very attractive, generous scarf, and that takes 5 skeins. The yarn was originally $20 a skein and is now $9.99. Another option still remaining is Barocco Mercado. Mercado is 100% Highland wool, non-superwash, and this is a yarn that I swatched for the Felix pullover and a cardigan. The pullover would take 4 to 7 skeins. The cardi would take 5 to 7 skeins. It's one that I know works at the gauge for that pattern. So that is an option. I think the maximum number of skeins I've got 2 colors that I have 6 skeins of. So that would, if you were making the largest size that you could make with 6 skeins, which is most of the sizes available in the pattern, that would be a $36 sweater. This yarn is currently $5.99. I also did a sample of the Irish hiking scarf. I used 3 skeins for that. And I have a shop sample of the Newell vest, which has integrated pockets. That took 4 to 7 skeins for the size range of that pattern. So those are some options for Barocco Mercado. Then Madeline Tosh ASAP is a hand-dyed super bulky yarn. Great for quick one skein projects. The Vermonter is a hat that works well with this yarn. The Sidewinder beanie is another one. There is an ear warmer pattern called Winter Morning. Again, all of those are linked on the product page. The Flamme is a super bulky thick and thin yarn from Quinoa Yarns, and one of the patterns they developed to support this yarn is something called the Essential Sweater. It would be a great easy first sweater. It takes 5 to 8 skeins of the Flamme and combines that with 1 to 2 skeins of the Skinny, which is this guy. So the Skinny is a little bit lighter weight and a smoother structure, and the sweater is knit on large needles, size 15 for the main fabric. So it's going to be a quick project and very cozy and warm. I saw the original sample of it, and it is actually what led me to bring in the yarn. It does have a somewhat limited color palette. All of the colors are cream with different pastels mixed in, but very, very pretty yarn. Other options for the Skinny, this is a single ply, 80% fine Peruvian merino and 20% alpaca yarn. This would make a really pretty, very elegant throw, and I have linked patterns for both knit and crochet throws that you could use this yarn for. And I think that's all we have over here, so let me move the camera to a new location. Okay, Barocco Dash comes in these enormous balls. I mean, there's my hand, and they're just absolutely enormous balls. There's 230 yards in a ball of this. It is a bulky yarn. It is 92% merino and 8% nylon. The 8% nylon is just providing some structure there. And it is a yarn that has a main color with bursts of the contrast colors. So there's great pattern support for this yarn. There is a very nice, simple top-down sweater. It's called Galatee, and the size range on that, it takes from 3 to 6 balls. The original price on this was $29 a ball. Again, they're huge. And it is now $14.49. So 3 to 6 balls for a sweater. There's a scarf pattern that has a stockinette background punctuated by garter stitch blips whenever you encounter the colors. That's called Flory. It takes 2 skeins. Another 2 skein project is the Summit cowl. It's kind of somewhere in between a cowl and a capelet. 2 skeins for that. You make a bobble every time you come to the color. Zuri is a double infinity loop crocheted, and the way that the crochet happens, the colors kind of stack up like this. There's also a 2 skein scarf shawlette, very easy, called Airplane Mode, and then 1 ball will make a hat and mitt set from the CL pattern. So that is Barocco Dash. Also want to highlight, we have some Barocco Summer Sesame left. This is Joji Locatelli's understated sweater. It's from the Boxy series. It's basically the Boxy V-neck. And the size range on that takes from 4 to 6 balls of Summer Sesame. So there's almost 300 yards in a ball. My other concept for this comes back to this granny square swatch. Church Mouse Patterns has a pattern for one big granny square, and it is just what it says. You start a granny square and you just keep going. And that one big granny square in Summer Sesame, I think, would be amazing. It is part of a personal fantasy of mine where you have a porch swing, you have a porch. It's 80 degrees, the breeze is very light. You have a Arnold Palmer, half iced tea, half lemonade, and you have your one big granny square that you made in Summer Sesame. And a great book. Have I not just given you the perfect summer afternoon? It's right here for you. Summer Sesame is now $8.49 a ball. And then the last yarn I want to show you, I seem to have lost. The Rico Fashion Modern Tweed. The thing that I want to emphasize about this is that this is a machine washable yarn. They do want you to dry it flat, but it's machine washable. It's currently $3.99 a ball, and this would be a great option for the flax worsted pattern for kids. It's extremely soft, it's very cozy and cushy, and the flax worsted, the kids sizes take from 3 to 8 balls. So Fashion Modern Tweed, really a great option for that. And there are other things still remaining. There's still a fair amount of hand-dyed yarn. Apple Fiber Studio, we've got their Gala, which is a merino nylon base, the Power Pink color that you can see peeking out there. That is their alpaca blend sock yarn. I have some hand-dyed DK. There's more studio sock from Neighborhood Fiber Company. There's really some good stuff left here. And again, it is 50%, some of it more off. So grab it while it's here. Thanks. Some of our calendar stuff I've already called your attention to, but I wanted to mention again that on August 21st, which is the third Wednesday in August, we'll be open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. for the Ellensburg Night Market, and we will have a bonus social stitching time from 6 to 8 on that day. Also, that same week, August 24th, which is the Saturday, we're going to be hosting a trunk show with Cerulean Orchid. She's going to bring a ton of stickers. It'll be amazing. And Geektastic Fibers will be bringing hand-dyed yarn. So mark your calendars for that. There are a couple of new yarns in the shop. We'll start with Polka Dot Sheep, the Yak. The Yak is just a spectacular luxury yarn. It is 60% fine merino, 20% yak, and 20% silk. It is so soft and so lovely. The yak, as always, gives the colors sort of a deep heathered look. The fiber itself is not white. So anytime you have yak in a blend, it gives you a darker, moodier version of the color. We have 6 colors of the yak. There is a great one skein cowl project that was designed for this yarn. It's linked on the product page with the yarn, and just truly a beautiful luxury yarn. And then we also have Amble from the Fiber Company, and I'm just going to do a little pan here to show you the color range. We have a dozen colors of the full-size Amble skeins, and then we have 17 colors of the mini skeins. Amble is a merino, alpaca, and nylon blend. It was developed as a sock yarn, but it is gorgeous in sweaters, accessories, you name it. It's a heavy fingering yarn, and it can do it all. The full skeins are 100 grams and have, I believe, 355 yards. And then the minis are 25 gram minis, and they are 88 yards. So whether you want to do cuffs and heels and toes, if you have a project that you want to include a little bit of color work in, they're just some great options for this yarn. Very excited to have. This is one that I have been thinking about and planning space for a little while, and here it is. Very happy to have Amble in the house. This week we also gave you some information about the Kittitas County Fair and how to enter your items into it. We did some explanation of the various classes, and a reminder that if you're not sure if you want to enter or not, just go ahead and fill out the forms as if you were going to enter, and there's absolutely no penalty. Nothing happens at all bad if you decide not to enter something at the last minute. But this way you've got the option, and it's fun to see what everybody in the county has been working on. And there is a link to the Fair 101 page, how to enter, and that will take you to the site where you can enter all of your information and get ready for the fair, Labor Day weekend. And then the last thing we covered was what I have been working on. I started a Muscle Doodle hat. So this is a Musselburgh combined with Pacific Knit Company's doodle patterns. I'm using the charts from the Autumn Doodle cowl, And you can see I am knitting up, and I am using my chart upside down so that my oak leaves in this section will be facing upward. So once I get to the middle of the hat, I will start knitting the charts right side up, but for now I'm working on them upside down. And so that's a muscle doodle.